everybody awake, sort of. I asked a couple of the boys in the band to drop over too.
There's a peeping Tom sat outside my window. He's been there for days. And now it's only gotten on to Sunday, and I think it's time to play. 'Cause there is nothing more that I like than to receive. Open up your eyes real wide, 'cause peeping Tom, I got a big surprise. So I slide across the hood, and what do I see? Sure as hell the peeping Tom is looking at me. So I simply accidentally, carelessly drop my dressing gown for him to see. So peeping Tom, keep on looking at me. Peeping Tom, tell me, what do you see? What do you see? What do you see? What do you see? What do you see?
Anything can happen.
Walking through the club like we're up on such a big shot. I'm so pumped about swag from the thrift shop. I saw my friend took it so damn frosty that people like, damn, that's cool, that's honky. Walking through the club like we're up on such a big shot. I'm so pumped about swag from the thrift shop. I saw my friend took it so damn frosty that people like, damn, that's cool, that's honky. Walking through the club like we're up on such a big shot. I'm so pumped about swag from the thrift shop. I saw my friend took it so damn frosty that people like, damn, that's cool, that's honky. Bag it. I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. Honey, looking for a come up. This is freaking awesome. I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. Honey, looking for a come up. This is freaking awesome. Walking about to go and get some compliments, popping it, walking about to go and get some compliments, popping it, walking about to go and get compliments, bag it. I'm gonna $40, sis, 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 I'm gonna $40.
Yo, okay. Let's see. It doesn't look as scuffed as I thought it would. Let's see. Let's see if we can turn down the desktop audio. There. There. That looks okay. Got some electro swing on the background, and we doing this. We doing this. All right, let me make sure chat's good. Okay. I can also test this while I'm here. Looks like Stream Elements isn't picking that up. This is the first stream on YouTube, folks, so it's gonna be scuffed as fuck. Because of the fact that, like, Stream Elements will let you test, like, subscription alerts and shit like that, but it won't let you test chat for some fucking reason. So, like, I can't tell if people are chatting or not, and I can't tell where it's gonna be. It's a massive pain in the ass. So let's see, does OBS see it? No. Let's move this over here. Save. Yeah, OBS still don't see it. Let's do, we're gonna test a subscriber event. Okay, cool. Save. Let's go back to OBS after we trigger a test. Oh, that's way in the wrong area. Chat rate? Oh, that's my chat. Haha. Wait, what do you mean? I moved it. Did I not click save? Save. YouTube testing. This is such... I'm probably just gonna get rid of Streamlabs for this one. Yeah, no Streamlabs. In the future, for if anyone's watching this or watching it later, there's gonna be chat off on the right-hand side of the thing. So, like, the black bar off to the right is where chat's gonna be. But right now, it's a little too scuffed. So, I will screw with that. Screw with that later. Why is YouTube not responding? YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth stream as such viewers experience buffering. Okay, well, there's that. Alright. Well, I can't help that. Alright, chat's up, we're good. Let's actually get into painting and stuff. So this is kind of like my central area. Cool, we got some bases there. These are actually basically done for what we were gonna mess with. Are you okay? No, you're buffering. So this is scuffed to shit. And if this is scuffed, then live streaming the actual tournament might be scuffed. Ugh. So we're only going to be able to record matches. It's whatever. That sucks. I was really hoping we could have streamed them from YouTube or on Twitch. But if it's this scuffed with just this, like this buffering is horrific. I'm just trying to glue a base insert into a damn thing and it's shitting its pants. Yeah, there we go. What the fuck? So, we're working on Co's Cutthroats for my infernals. I think he came out pretty good. Actually, seeing him on camera, he came out really good. Okay. So, next guy. These inserts printed perfect size. I need to think Ice King for that again. Man, I love Electro Swing. I wish it was more popular. Encoding overload. Consider turning on video settings or using a faster encoding preset. Okay. I'm not dropping frames. Come on. Encoding overload. Consider turning on video settings. Okay. What do you mean by video settings? OBS turning down video settings. To lower the frame rate, go to settings video, then select common SPN, choose 30 or less. So, go to settings. Okay, video. Common FPS. Okay. So I got to cancel this and then redo it. So stream's going to go offline, but it will be right back, folks. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate the lurk. But I'm going to kill it and bring it right back so I can drop my common FPS value down because apparently OBS is crapping its pants. So, be right back. You not be... Okay. Round 2. Now hopefully it stops crapping its pants. Ugh. So... Technical difficulties, tons of fun, but hopefully OBS is cool with 30 FPS instead of 60. Here's the next of the cutthroats with his murder weapons. It's literally what the weapons are called, the melee weapons, and I love it. Okay, come on, dude. Stop sliding around. Kind of like how this is gonna look. The dark red base rim. Right? Well, this is the first stream I'm trying on YouTube for a couple reasons. One, so that I can talk about, you know, QuestCon and other shit and kind of paint and hang out with people. And two, to test it for QuestCon proper. Because QuestCon/Crucible, I'm hoping to stream the games. But, like, if this turns into a fucking slideshow, it's going to be happening. So, yeah, it was pretty bad. So I dropped it from 60 FPS to 30, and it seems a lot smoother, and OBS is not crapping its pants and saying, hey, I'm dying. Send help. Come on. Focus. You can do it. There we go. Right now we're just doing some of the boring stuff, getting the base inserts into the actual bases if they'll glue. Yeah, it's a Razer Kio. So it's got like a built-in light up here, which I love the fact that it has that, and it's a standard webcam. For QuestCon, I don't think we're going to be using this because this cam's old as hell and scuffed. So I'm probably going to be using the other one I use for work, just because I haven't bought a big boy cam. And recently, oh my god, the most recent video, um, yeah, probably. But the most recent video, I was complaining about my GoPro because I bought a Hero 9 forever ago and I loved that thing, but the Hero 8 and up supposedly have issues with overheating. Just something about the design and the way all the crap they want to put into it. So the fixes were like, don't run it off a battery, run it off a battery pack, and make sure that you have the screens set to go to sleep after a certain amount of time of not usage so that they don't speed up the heating process. And I tried all that. And what's weird is that outside, I filmed a friend's wedding with it for like 2.5 hours. Perfectly fine. Indoors, damn thing lasts 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something stupid. And I was like, I can't use this. It's better quality camera, supposedly, but not if it's not going to camera. Like, if the damn thing doesn't camera, it doesn't matter how good the display is and everything. Like, I need you active for more than 20 minutes, dude. He came out really good. So, yeah, I cheat. Like, when it comes to painting, man, this is all metals and fucking contrast. Like, I don't do faces. I just let the contrast and I let Newland Oil do the work. And it's not going to win any goddamn awards, but it's going to look okay on a table. Yeah. So that unit's done. I just finished Hermit. He came out really good. And then Eilish one. Or Eilish one or whatever. Every time I say his name, it reminds me of like Billie Eilish. This is the no quarter version, the promo. So these are going to be going into these ones, so now we actually get to paint. But my life recently has been nothing but printing and painting. So freaking I always forget the name of it. It's not Steamroller. It's the guy who did the PDF or the STLs for Steamroller-esque terrain. So like this is one of the open graves. Now I went through and installed magnets in them just because I'm a little extra, but I printed all of those. Each table is going to probably have 3 open graves. I printed out different scatter terrain, but that's literally been my life for a bit, and that's what these streams are going to be: is painting minis, but also taking care of painting projects for QuestCon because I've got to do at least 4 tables, or at least that's the goal. And I was like, I could do royalty-free, music, and then I went through different types that I liked, and ended up settling on electro swing because I like it. So how are you guys doing today? You have a good Wednesday? Did you see those Butcher fucking rules updates? There we go. I am live, right? Yeah. So, this is... He looks really solid. I need to reread it because I didn't read them all the way through. I just kind of looked at them when the app updated, and then I remembered somebody saying in one of the groups, "Oh yeah, when he pops feet and he gets to bring back all those solos." I'm like, wait a second, I I don't think it works that way, right? Like, it's got to be a unit that's active because he needs to point at. Can he just bring back a fuck ton of solos randomly? Because that would be kind of disgusting. I'm gonna use a bigger brush for this. This is my scuffed brush. This is whatever I do when I just want to glob a tin of paint on something. So I'm pretty sure he needs like a target unit. He can't just bring back something that's been removed from the table, but we'll see. Because I could be totally wrong on that. Ugh. That's one of the things I'm fucking terrified for running a tournament. Like, I'm not really super well versed in the rules. Like, I know enough to be dangerous, but freaking when somebody calls judge, I'm probably gonna have a fucking micro heart attack because I'm gonna be like, I don't know. Let's look at the app, and that's gonna be my answer for most of that shit. Like an example, here's a good one. Is I was watching a game of Infernals versus Crix. It was old too because they were playing the older Steamroller, where the Steamroller really saw its zones, but it was still Mark IV. And at one point, a Soul Stalker or whatever ended up dismounting a Dragoon, the Coily Snake. Yeah, just warrior models. But I mean, warrior models, solos are technically warrior models. Your caster's considered a warrior model. Grunts are considered warrior models. Anything that doesn't say it's, something else is not a warrior model. So if he can bring back warrior models, can he bring back solos? Let me go pull up his shit. Small derailment from my story, but I'll allow it because it's a good fucking question. Alright, come here, Mr. Betrayed. Word of Woe. While in Orca's control range, enemy models lose tough and cannot have damage removed for them for 1 round. Enemy models destroyed or removed from play. That's interesting, because if it's on destruction, does that take priority over a Soul Engine, or a Void Engine? Because the Void Engine's ability is if you kill a warrior, it will remove it from play and crap out a ghost. Does he circumvent and remove it before the Void Engine does? Because if he does, then you can't crap out ghosts. So that's another interesting interaction I'm going to need to get rules on. Additionally, at the end of this turn, return 2d3 plus 2 destroyed medium base or smaller friendly faction warrior models to play, completely within his control range. Place returned trooper models in play within 2 inches of another model in that unit. I think you can bring back solos. They're warriors. It doesn't say return to a unit. Yeah, I think you can do it. That's kind of nuts. It doesn't say it has to be from an existing unit, which is why it can be a solo. Yeah, exactly. And I believe effects like that, yeah, stop the soul tokens. Well, soul tokens, yeah, but the Void Engine's ability to crap out ghosts. It also removes on destruction, if I remember right. So let's go pull that up. Prime, Mark IV, Dusk. Loading force. Void Engine. When a friendly soulless model is disabled by an enemy attack while within 10 inches, this model can spend 1 power token to replace that model with a right model. The replaced model is destroyed. So it's on disabled. It will replace. You can have up to 3. So on disable, it will replace. What does Butcher say? It states destroyed, so it's disabled, box destroyed, or whatever the flowchart is for death. Yeah, I don't know the flowchart for death, though, so I'm not going to have to learn. The timing document in the library, I find, is kind of ass. Like, I don't feel that it tells me enough of what I want to know. So, we'll see. Enemy models destroyed, control range are removed from play. No, it wouldn't stop it, because at point of disable, the Void Engine will kick in, replace the destroyed model with, or the model that was disabled with the ghost, And then what his feat will do is that the model that is being destroyed via the second effect to the Void Engine, it will remove that from play. So the ghost still craps out. It has a quick link to... What is a quick link? Activate, attack, damage application. Yeah. Library timing references. Now, we went into the timing flowchart last Sunday for some stuff, and it just didn't feel like it told me enough. I forgot what the question we had at the time was, but it was like, this thing's fucking pointless. So we moved on from it. But yeah, disabled comes first. So Void Engine would crap out, which is fine. It was one of those things. It's like, oh, well, that's a good question. But anyways, back to the pseudo infernal story. So I was watching the game, and the snake infernal horror has coil, and basically, if it hits, all of its attacks get sustained hits because it's coiled you. Well, he hit and killed a dragoon, so the dragoon dismounted into its normal version, and they ended up having to call a judge on it to say, hey, is he considered coil? Are the rest of my attacks considered sustained attacks? And the judge ruling was no. They had to look it up because for the rules for Dragoon, it says that it's a replaced model. But then on the flip side, even though it's replacing the model, like you don't get bodies, you don't get souls, you don't get stuff like that. So it's like stuff like that I have to learn because it's like I would have never known that. I would have had to go rule by rule and hope that my interaction was correct. So shit like that pseudo terrifies me right now. I need my wash so I can work on Sepia. And then I can also work on tombstones while I'm at it. Because these need to dry before I can do the other half. And this is just Esh and Gray. Like I have Dawnstone. Yeah, I did when I first got back into it. And I'm probably going to do that again. Read them cover to cover. Just because it'd be a good idea. Like I know that some of the power attacks and stuff are a little different. No, I think power attacks are usually the same. Yeah, when I first tried getting back into Mark IV, I tried reading the rulebook and I didn't quite grasp it. So I looked for tutorials on how to play, and there were like fucking none. So I then forced myself to sit down and read all the rulebook, and then I got some models out and kind of tested what I was seeing in the rulebook, like just move the models as if I was playing a game. And then went and tried to watch some battle reports, and that's actually how I found Tried and True and how I found their Discord, the Delaware War Machine Discord, which great group of folks over there. I love them to death. Got to meet 2 of them at Captain Con. Yeah, no 2-handed throw bonuses. Back when I used to play Mark II, I played Pirates, and because Mark II is where I got my start, and I used to love double punching my own fucking Commodore with my clamp hand jack and yeeting it at the opponents, because that damn thing only moves what fucking 3 inches. So it was better off to yeet your own cannon at the enemy than walk it. I miss being able to do goofy shit like that. But I see why they got rid of it, because there was so much other degenerate shit you could do than instead of just, cannon yeeting. And I don't blame them at all for that. Oh, why am I painting the base of this? That's going to be black. All right, let's not do that. This part is going to be black, and then the tombstone is going to be of stone. Yeah, no worries. I appreciate it. Thanks for popping in and shit. But we'll see. We got all this training shit to do for quest. And once it's done, once a lot of fun with ironclads. Yeah. Once it's done, I'll have it. It'll be mine. So I'll be able to. The goal is, like I said, to do 4 tables worth of terrain. And once I've got that set up, I'll always have 4 tables worth of terrain at my disposal. So there's that. Tremor into throw is always fun. Tremor does knockdown, or does it do something else? Man, Electro Swing has got some weird shit in it, man, and I love it. Auto knockdown? Okay, yeah, I figured something like that. Because that sounds like what it would do. Like everything within an area around, because of the earthquake created, gets knocked down. That's what I do like about most of their rules is just from the name of the effect, you can usually have a good guess of what the fuck it's going to do. You know? Oh, I love Caravan Palace, but I think they'll copy Strike It. Fucking Lone Digger is a goddamn staple. Rocket with Me is another one that I absolutely love. Caravan Palace is fucking goated. But I think most of this shit's royalty free. If not, if this gets claimed, whatever, fuck it. I'm not at a point where I'm going to be making money from this. So, and I don't care. I'm not here to make money off of it. I'm just having fun with it. I wouldn't mind, if anything, getting support from fucking Steamforged or Privateer, but I'm way too small for them to give me the time of day. Getting a hold of them just to get prize support has been fucking impossible. Even with help from Erica, who had like tagged the guy from Steamforge who does it, um, I still haven't heard anything, which sucks. But it is what it is. They're in the middle of a transition. I haven't seen or heard any of the new stuff. I need to go check that out. Like I go through phases. Recently, I've been listening to my friend of mine got me into the One Piece card game, and because of that, I never really watched One Piece or anything, and I got into Film Red because I was going to play Uta and her deck, and because of that, I watched all of Film Red, and then I got into Ida's music, and went down a fucking rabbit hole with that, and her shit's amazing. And then I got into Amelie, who did English covers of all of her stuff, and I've been listening to a lot of that. And I'm like, God damn, I feel like a weeb. But like, it's good shit. So right now, I just need something that I hopefully is okay. Miracles was great. Do you see some anime? Is that the name of the anime, or is that like a One Piece arc? Because I watch a lot of weeby shit, and that's not ringing a bell. Oh, One Piece is the Ulysses of anime. Yeah, well, it's supposedly coming to an end soon. Like, currently in the manga itself, there's a big bad that's like into the world cataclysmic crap, and they're closing in on the actual end of it. So interesting, but we'll see. I know My Hero has an end. But when One Piece was like first coming out, I didn't get into it then, and now the idea of trying to get caught up with 1,000+ fucking episodes, yeah, yeah, same. That's exactly what I was about to say. Like the concept of committing to that amount of fucking episodes, I was like, nah. I tried it once. I got to like episode 115, and I was like, you know what? I'm tapping out. I'm good. I'm good. It's not a bad thing, but god damn, I just can't. I just can't care enough. I got other shit I gotta do. There's a lot of good stuff this season though. Like what was it? The Austrian newbie or whatever is pretty decent. Um, the one with the adopted kids is pretty good. Um, fucking what is it? Wand and Sword's okay. Like I watch most of my shit off of but he got in when there was like 500. Yeah, like that doesn't seem as daunting as 1,000. Obviously, it's half, but like if it was at 500 and I committed to it, then I feel like that's something I could probably get through. But right now, it's like oof. The card game's fun as shit though. Um, the One Piece card game, total blast. It's like we're thinking about it. Like we tried to pin down what it's like, and it's most like fucking Hearthstone if you think about it. Because you get your resources automatically. You get 2 Dawn every turn, unless you're going first, then you get 1. It's separate from your deck, so you don't have to worry about putting actual resources in your deck. You play characters. There is a limit to the number of characters that you can have, and you hit your opponent's life until they die. Paladin is my favorite to recommend. Faraway Paladin, as in like an anime. This is also cheating, by the way. Like, I want a dirt effect, but I don't have a good dirt paint right now. So instead, I took my Sepia Superior Wash, or Shade. Did it? Okay. I'll take it. I'll take a look at it. I'm always looking for good anime. I didn't. Another anime I didn't get into, and I'm kind of sad I didn't until now. And I'm glad I'm caught up. Was Reincarnated as a Slime. It's mainstream as fuck, but I didn't watch it when it first came out, and then it did, and I was like, oh, the new season's out. Well, let me go watch all the old stuff. And it was a blast. Good show. And then like every now and then the fucking light novel spoilers show up on YouTube, and I watch those. And that show is gonna get crazy. All right, Gravestone. No, bad. Don't do that. Fucking. One of the things that's interesting, and I was thinking about it now, just looking at these, because I'm using Eshin Gray, but this is an older pot of Eshin Gray. It's got a little same. Yeah, the most recent season was a lot of, or at least this half of the most recent season is a lot of politics, because they're trying to establish a status quo, and then they need to break it again. And that's what they're doing. Because what that anime does is it does the fucking Dragon Ball thing, where you do this, you learn a new thing, you get your ass beat a little bit, and then all of a sudden, a new threat comes out, and you have to raise to the new threat, and that's apparently shonen. That's a fucking name for it. So it's very shonen-ish in like how it ascribes to its threats, and they're establishing a status quo because they need to break it for the next shonen bad guy arc, which, if I remember right, is supposed to be like the dragon who created creation, and then shit gets weird. Yeah, well, that's the shonen aspect, and it's because there's an underlying. I was watching one of the YouTube videos that explain this. There's an underlying thing that in Japan, like if you get to the age of 30, you become a sage. And when our boy died, one of the things that he just wished for was companionship. So the voice in his head is actually linked to the creation system. So it's also his companion. So it's randomly leveling him up to keep him alive because he wants to live. And he basically has the ultimate cheat code. And at one point in the manga or whatever, he names it. And then once he names it, gives it, because right now it's been giving itself names or telling it what its skill name is. But once he names it, just like how he named all the ogres and everything, it's going to get an even bigger power up and basically become its own digital being. And then that's when you learn about the fact that he's basically had creation in him this entire time. And he's a mini bouncy slimy god. Because that makes sense. But you know what? Fuck it, I'll go with it. Tell your story, anime. Tell your story. I ain't gonna hate on your story. Tell your story. Live your best life. What else can I paint? Because these have to dry. I'm still stoked how these came out. The fuck? Come on. There we go. Yeah. So I guess the creation mythos for this is that there was nothing, and then out of nothing came this dragon, who was the first true dragon, and then he created the universe that everybody lives in, and then he created all the beings that were like immortal. Freerun, I already watched it. Freerun's amazing. Freerun's a good vibing anime. Like story wise, it's Elf Girl goes on a trip. That's it. Like, yeah, she's going to relive her past memories and shit. But like, there's not a big story there going on. But what it does very well is fantasy slice of life, and I like it. Like, you're not mad at the animation, you're not mad at the story. It keeps you entertained. It's a good show. But what it speaks to is more treasuring the friendships you have before you lose them, and that's really its message, in my opinion, so far. And it's a good message to have. But overall, that's it. Yeah, and she's growing with it. Yeah, she is. Like she when she picked up Fern when the old guy tricked her, which I loved. The fucking smooth old bastard tricked that old elf bitch. I love it. Into taking the apprentice. Like you can tell she's learning to understand humans a bit better. But she didn't even want to do that until what's her name? Or what's his name? The leader of the hero party. She fucking yeah, it does it really well. I'm not, and everything I'm saying isn't bad about it. It's just it's a good anime with a simple story, and sometimes you need good animes with simple story. Yeah, Freerun's gonna be badass, but I want a season 2. I think everybody does. So I picked up Infernals, or started to, and this came in from the eBay lot, and I love it, but I'm gonna have to repaint it, and that kills me. Ugh. I love how it doesn't like stay on the base right, and it clacks together though. Like I want to learn Infernals, but I'm going to. Like, I'm going to learn Infernals. Animation's incredible. How they tell the story is incredible. It doesn't have a groundbreaking story, but it doesn't need to. It just needs to have a good story. As as long as what they're writing is told well, that's what matters, in my opinion. As long as what they're trying to say is said properly, like in a good way. And then he did this one pretty okay too. The orange is really pretty. Like, he did really good shading. This isn't contrast. The guy who did this by hand. And I feel sad because I'm probably just going to reprime this and go over it again. I don't even know if I'm going to strip it because I don't think I need to. It's very thin. If I prime it and it's all clumpy and shit, then yeah, I'm going to get a sonic cleaner and dunk them all and fucking... I need to anyways for my Grumkin. But I can't even play him until I get the 120s. Well, I mean, I can, but he's not as good without the 120s. Besides, I think I'm going to play her more. I love this mini. Like, this is why I wanted to play Infernals. You just default to Signar? Basic bitch. No, I'm kidding. Signar is pretty interesting, actually. So I'm possibly going to be doing a commission for a friend of mine. Yeah, right? I'm going to be doing a commission for a friend of mine, and it's actually Storm Legion. So he sent me some of his extras, and we tested out a color scheme. And he wants primary black with metals, and then for his cloth color, we went with red. So this is the test mini I did. And then I think it came up pretty good. The glows came out really good. I couldn't determine what these were on the ass, so I just left the top of a metal. Come on, you can do it. There we go. And then just like did the bottom part leather as if it was like pouches. Like, I guess it could be ammo or grenades. I don't know. Yeah, well, when we were talking about the color scheme, I started laughing because this is the exact same color scheme as my Iron Hands. So, and then the metal there is Iron Warriors. Yeah, they look really good. So we're gonna do that. The inner like leg part is Skeleton Horde. Then we used reds for the cloth. We used different red for the armor bits that are red. He's gonna be interesting. Like, I'm stoked to paint on that. I'm gonna hate painting it. Like, that's gonna what a lot of these streams are gonna be is me sitting down every other night and painting his Signar after QuestCon. Because I told him before Quest, it ain't happening. After Quest, though, maybe. I'll definitely get on it because I have till Captain Con of next year, which I think is February, to do it, and I should be able to chew through it all then. And then hopefully give it to him before Captain Con because I'm not flying with his army and my army. Fuck that. He can fly with his own army. I love Brandon, but no. Yeah, what else do we have? The guy did Tormentors. The orange looks really good. But the problem is the color scheme I'm going for is very much reds. So, like, kind of works, but I don't think I want to match it, so I'm probably going to have to restart, which I'm fine with, but... Yeah, he gave me his paint scheme, actually. I messaged him, and I'm like, hey, did you paint these? What did you use and everything? And he told me how, and I looked at it, and I'm like, I don't have any of those paints. I think I only had one, which is the orange I'm using on... the same orange I'm using on the pumpkins. This is not complete. So these are pumpkin walls. Yeah, well, that's... You think that one does. Hold on. These are Shriekers. These reminded me of Zerglings. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's orange and blue, which is his primary color scheme, or was his primary color scheme for this army before he sold it. And I got it for 400 for the whole lot, and it's for the crabs, and the crabs by themselves are like 35, 40 a pop. And he had 4 of those. He had 2 of these new in box. Yeah, 2 of these new in box. The Soul Stalkers. That's the snake thing I was talking about. Those are like 30, 40. And then he had 2 units of Howlers. A single unit of Howlers is like $60. So like when everything was said and done, when it came to like the price, $400 was a fucking steal. Like 100%. And then I got another lot out for this guy. Unfortunately, he's in China, so shipping for that's not going to show up till fucking September 10th. I had Crow's Cutthroats. I had another version in that lot too, but I'm not going to paint those. They're very beat up, and I'm not going to care about those. But he had his own Hermit in the lot, but it's also generically painted, so I'm probably going to stick that with my Unlimited Grimkin. It's hard now. Yeah, that's the thing is a lot of stuff is going up. And I talk to people who want to play an army, right? Like Grimkin's a great example. And then they want to get a slaughterhouse. And the thing is they don't want to pay $350, $345, $400 for a slaughterhouse. And I get that. But it's all out of print. And the fan demand is so high for certain armies that it's worth it. Like the actual model, that value of that model is that amount of money. And people are like, well, I'm not going to pay that. I'm like, I get you, but unless you find somebody who's cool out of the kindness of their heart, you ain't gonna get one then. It's crazy how some of these prices have spiked. Rattlers for Grimkin, $80. Fucking clockatrices. I want to say last year were what, 30, 35? They're up to like 75 now. It's nuts. I went and priced some out because I sold some to a guy, and I ended up dropping him to 40 for him, and he was stoked for that. He took it. Yeah, I mean, that's if you can find the STLs. There was one guy for Grimkin who did make all the STLs, but he pulled them down because I think he got poked by Privateer, and they're like, wait, fucko, get rid of that. He's on Colts 3D. He actually made his own set of Grimkin defenses that are free, and they look so fucking good. And I actually tried to reach out to him to commission Grimkin themed defenses for QuestCon. I was going to print them and have those as like a giveaway thing. Like, hey, thanks for coming. Here's a set of objectives themed for spooky season, because that's what Crucible used to be, or still is, kind of, is like pumpkin themed and shit. So it would be perfect for Grimkin themed defenses. But yeah, that guy had a full set of Grimkin STLs, and he pulled them down. He didn't say why, but I can guess he probably got a legal tap and was like, yeah, no, never mind, I'm good. And I don't blame him at all, not one bit. So yeah, but that's, if you can 3D print them. One of the things I would like to invest in is those 3D hand scanners, and then just go through and just scan like my Grimkin collection, and then just drop those files somewhere, and so people can go, oh, okay, because I've got 100% FA, like the whole fucking army as is. So it'd be nice to just be like, here you go, guys. You want a slaughterhouse? Print one out yourself. Have fun. But we'll see. I have a feeling now that the games is in Steamforge's hand that yeah, at this point it sucks. I got a feeling that since the game's in Steamforge's hand, certain things might be turned back on, and I could see them turning back that we're not going to produce old shit anymore, because depending on who you talk to, the reason that decision may or may not have been made is because Privateer Press was trying to juice their items sold, and they wanted to focus on producing new stuff so that, you know, people had to buy new stuff. And that would juice their items sold. And once they had that number nice and amped up, they could use it to help sell the company. Of course, it's all rumor and hearsay, and I have no sources that will or will not commit to saying that's what they heard from people who worked for Privateer. But yeah, It's an interesting point of view. I'll put it like that. If it's true. Because from what the rumors say, Matt's been looking to sell the company for a bit. And, I'm not mad at him for that. He didn't want to keep running with it. He wanted to get his bag and get out. Cool. Fair play. I totally can't hate you for that. Hard for the legacy factions having multiple versions of the faction, though. Yeah, I get you. Like, we don't even know where Chimea came from. Like, I think the rumor is they're supposed to be, like, linked to Everblight somehow, but we're not 100% sure. Or I haven't read any of their stuff in terms of, like, lore or whatever. So I've heard rumors that they're linked to Everblight somehow, but we'll see. And then if Menoth show up riding dinosaurs, I know a ton of people will be stoked for that. I am not one of them. I am not a Menoth fan, so I personally don't care. I have no dog in that race. But I wish them the things that they want. I would love to see Grimkin come back. But they probably won't. Not for a bit. I think a Mark IV Grimkin would be cool as shit, but we'll see. Because from a lore perspective, Old Witch supposedly, air quotes, released the power of the Grimkin and sent them back to the realm of shadows or whatever the fuck it was. But then we have Zarathel or whatever, the fucking Merc, who's a Grimkin. But if Old Witch sent them all back into their fucking power ethos from which they supposedly came from, how the fuck does this guy exist? Menoth players are the stasis players of War Machines? What do you mean by stasis? Or am I pronouncing that wrong? Am I reading that wrong? Do you mean sassiest? Because they are pretty sassy. They're very sassy. In, like, the good ways. Like, I love how sassy they are. Where did the fuck did I put my black? Move. There you go, Black Legion. Comic book logic. Huh? Oh, stasis for MTG. Gotcha. Okay, I get you. Man, they're interesting. I watched, I want to say 2 weeks ago, we were at Leighton Games, and some guys joined us that were older players, and one of them was playing Trollbloods, and the other was playing Menoth, and those gun lines from Menoth, even in fucking, being a Mark III army in Mark IV, were horrible, like in a good way. Like, he was long bombing and just deleting shit off the table. It was crazy. I forget what it ended up being, like rat +2 or +1, or either the rat got modified to hell and back or the POW did. But I remember that shit hurt. And I'm like, I'm glad I'm not playing against. I mean, to be fair, I would have probably been playing fucking Orgoth, so I probably would have fared better because Windstorm's a goddamn thing. But yeah, no, that troll player got basically shot off the fucking table. Poor guy. The new Crix stuff looks good. Like it still feels within Crix's wheelhouse. Yeah, it was. He failed some of his tough rolls. He made some, but it didn't matter because it's like the guy had 3 or 4 big ass gunjacks, and then when he did finally get in, the trolls were softened up enough that 2 of the gunjacks had thresher maces. So they just basically like turned into a wood chipper and around the world and killed like half of the things. But there's nothing the troll player could have done. Like the table was against him, the sides were against him. It was not a fun game to watch. And then that's a problem I think I'm going to run into. Because it's like I do have a battle report recorded from last week, but it was my friend Chris, who's new at the game, versus he was playing Grimkin versus Mark IV Winter Corpse, and the Winter Corpse player got his shit pushed in by a unit of Nayslayers, and was like, "Okay, I'm in trouble." So he went for their yeah, there's not a lot spoiled just yet. So he went for an objective victory and just pushed so hard ahead on points that Chris couldn't come back, and basically lost on scenario at the end of his at the end of his third turn. Like he got to go for a pseudo assassination attempt with what was left of the Nayslayers, but he failed. So that means he lost because there was no way in hell he could have contested or gained enough points to be able to keep the game going. So it's like I could upload that, but that seems boring as fuck to watch from a person's perspective. Oh, okay. 2.5 turns? Nah, I'm good. So I feel that every time I record a game, if it's just a bad game, it's like, well, that's a wasted recording. But like, you don't want to script the games because then that's shitty. Still juicy. That's why you like this game so much. Yeah. I mean, from a player standpoint, it was a good game, but from like a viewer standpoint, it was boring as shit. Yeah. He got luck. I don't want to say he got lucky. He was actually very good on his plan, the Kador player, because what he did is it was the one where you have the 50s on one side, the 40s on the other side, and the 30 in the middle. I forget the name of the scenario. And if you hold both the 30s or the 50s, you score 2 VP because you hold both. So he ended up shooting Chris off of one of the 40s. He held down one of the 50, contested the other 50 with a really good charge that just barely hit it to be in contested range. And then he contested the 30 in the middle, which Chris was holding with Milady Man. So we go to score. He scores both 40s because he shot Chris off of it, and then he gains the extra 2 points. So now he's up by 4 points. Chris scored 0 points. No, he's up by 5 points because he also controls a 50. Chris scores 0 points, so it's like he's got to go up by 3, and he has no troops that can get to the troop one, and he can't get the heavy jack and Sergi off the 50 mil that the other guy's holding down. And even if he was to free up the 30, which actually wouldn't have been that hard, he would only be scoring 1 point, and it's like, oh, this is over. So his only option was to take the Nayslayers that had lived, and there was like 3 or 4, and go after the caster, try to caster kill. And he did, and he just rolled bad. And I mean, if he would have spiked, he probably actually would have killed Borsk. But that's the dice, you know? Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. But like, from a watcher's point of view, like, would you want to watch a game like that? Being over by the end of fucking turn 2, basically? First scoring turn? Should probably use the big brush for this. Better coverage. We'll do that on the next one. It was okay. Chris is super new. Like, at some point, I had to coach him a couple times. Because he forgot what shit did. I mean, I still forgot what shit did. I'm not a master at this game. I'm still super fucking new. So, I was like, oh, wow. You could do this, and you could do that. Or you could do this. Like, I totally forgot that Milady Man had the ability to fucking speed up the Nayslayers. So, and then when I was looking at his rules, I was like, oh, wait, shit, he can do that. I forgot about that. Yeah. my experience with Grimkin is very minimal. I started with Retribution. Some stuff happened that I'm not going to talk about on YouTube that made me quit my Retribution um, because of things, and then ended up going into Pirates because I got the army for cheap and I didn't have to worry about winning. I could just play for memes and lose, and that was what I needed to do at that time. And from there, I went to Convergys, quit, sold my Convergys, couldn't find a buyer for my Pirates at the time, so kept them, and then I kept my Ret because they were my first army. And then recently, when I was in the process of moving, or starting to move, I found my Ret, and then that led me down the rabbit hole getting into Mark IV. So I quit. Yeah, I quit at the end of 2, but at one point in the middle of 3, I was going to get back in, and I was going to play Grimkin. I actually bought the starter and everything. But then the local gaming store I was going to play at went under. It's called Dropsite Games, owned by an amazing guy who now works for GW at a GW store. I'm like, he went from owning a game store to working at one. And he yells at me not to remind him. So, my experience with Grimkin is mid at best, but I kind of know how they play enough to give Chris pointers. But I always tell him that, there's going to be shit I don't know of or I don't think of. And then you just have to learn that on your own. I will say one of the problems with the lack of content in terms of like creators is finding games to learn from online, like watching people play. Back in Mark II was super easy. You had the big players. Who the fuck was their names? The We Play and Call It Work. Mini Wargaming? Yeah, I think that's them. They made Ravage Star. Yeah. Well, so many rules and just learning like the meta interactions. Like back in the day, you had in Mark II when I played, you had Guerrilla Miniature Gaming was play it. You had Mini Wargaming playing it. You had Advanced Maneuvers. You had so many places pumping out battle reports that you could usually find a very modern game that was recently recorded of somebody playing your army. But now, I think you have right now, actually, probably pretty soon, Zero Camp. Zero Camp's probably the most consistent because it's every goddamn Wednesday. But you have Zero Camp on Twitch, and then you have Tried and True, and then you have these new guys that recently popped up who are doing amazing. I forget their name. Lock and Load? No, not Lock and Load. Fuck, I was just watching one of their battle reports today. They're really good. But it does seem like we are starting to ramp up with content creators who are actually putting out battle reports, which is good because we need more of that. Because that is one of the problems with Mark IV, in my opinion, is because we have a lack of content out there. It's harder to learn these armies. Like, I always bring up the Slam Bears whenever I'm talking to Kadar players, just because so many people that I talk to don't know about the rule interactions between the momentum gun and the slammer head. And it's like, if meta battle reports were around, people would know about like the slam bear and how good it is, because the slam bear is fucking degenerate. Dive back into what? Watching battle reports? How long is this? Oh shit, this playlist is almost over. Yeah, this is like the last song. Here, we'll fucking throw on some DJ Hero while I think of something else. Finding more War Machine content. Yeah. Um, if you don't watch Zero Camp on Twitch, they're amazing. Let me turn that down. Uh, there. What was I saying? Zero Camp. Every Wednesday they stream on Twitch. Great guys. Um, they've got the Kador curse. Whenever Kador's on camera, I don't think it ever wins. At least Winter Guard, Winter Corpse. But I cannot recommend their content enough. And then Delaware, tried and true. Anytime they do something, I normally always watch it. So they're pretty good. Right now, all I am is fucking unboxing, and now I guess painting streams. But the setup is improving. We recently, I say we, it was 100% me, did this. Where are you? You popped up on the other monitor. My vision's based on movement. I can't find the window if it stays still. Telly score. Time without a name. File. Open. His eyes and thought to himself, dope. Sam, I've been getting my list together, ready to actually come out. Do it. Go play. Even if you get your ass beat, have fun. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you lose. You're getting the experience. All right. Window capture. I think it's window capture. Telly score. Yeah. Stream gonna look a little weird for a sec. Come here, Telly score. Make it to the top and be a DJ hero. Was it Alt? Yeah. And then if we go to, I think it's transform. Screen, no. Screenshot, high transition, blending method, transform, reset, flip, stretch the screen center. Is it under properties? I thought it was something else. Let's just go to gaming. No, it's not gaming. Paint live stream, QuestCon. We will fucking copy this layer. Go over here real quick. Trash that. Paste duplicate. Sorry, the stream's a goddamn mess right now because I'm trying to fuck with this at the same time. Alt. So this is, it definitely look better when I'm done with it. But this is TeleScore. And TeleScore is a weird application. 100% play your best and lose well. I know I've done that a ton over the years. I've gotten Jet. Got a Jet for now. Oh, okay. I'll see you in the floor chat. Yeah, man, no worries. But yeah, this is TeleScore, which is going to make it so that I can actually set people up and shit. But yeah. Oh, it's not displaying properly. Why you no display properly? Oh, because it's probably far back behind. There we go. Okay. All right, I am by myself then, which is cool. Let's go back to here, and then we'll move chat. Error, YouTube is not open studios. Why are you not being a bro? Error, you're going to maintain. There we go. I guess it's okay now. Cool. All right. Cool, 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 cool. All right, back to painting. And back to also putting up music. What do I want to listen to? I don't want to put up DJ Hero. I guess we could put up old school electro swing that I haven't listened to. We'll reset this. Go back here. That's definitely going to need another coat. Okay. Gluing is so riveting. This is such riveting content. You put glue on the feet, and you hold one plastic to the other plastic, and you wait till they become one. Ew. Love how I painted that whole base topper, and like fucking 10% is gonna be visible. He looks really good though. Oh my god. That's actually why I chose that base topper though, was because there's not a lot going on, and I just wanted it to be not have to worry about detail being displayed. It's very homogenistic, and it'll keep in theme with everybody else. Um, we got for about an hour. What time is it? 7? We can do another hour, probably. I got shit to paint, right? Not much, actually. I need to prime a bunch of stuff. Ew. Need to be better prepared for next week. Because the goal is to do one of these every week. Okay, you're the hermit. Alright. And then magnets are, of course, already installed. So woman that I ever seen. Guess if you say so. Hit the Probably could have dry brushed over those stitchings with like a metal or something to make it pop more. It's good as is. And then here's Eilish 1. What's funny is this was in no quarter, and anyone who's watching this after the fact, the whole thing comes on like a sprue, like a resin casted sprue, and they molded the OG Privateer press base. Like you can't really see it over the magnet. There we go. But you can actually see that the Privateer press shield is there. Like, so whenever they were making this guy for the no quarter, they literally casted one of the OG Privateer press bases for the mass production, and I always kind of got a kick out of that. And the reason I know that is I got this one in a trade, but I actually have another copy of this guy, new in sprue and plastic. So, love that. One, because it's rare, and two, because I have it. This one, though, because it's not the normal plastic, is having issues adhering. Then I gotta go through and seal the bases. We're down to 7 models of Infernals. Done. Out of that whole fucking army. God help me. So, what I'm going to do is actually add a text. BRB text. Let's actually be right back. All right, I will be right back. Okay. That goes away. That comes back on. There we go. Let's see if we go with chat. So, got a new drink, did some priming, and picked up the Tufts because we're going to be tufting out the Highland Tuff, Scorch Tuff. We're not going to be using Scorch Tuff for this. Tufting out the graves. Nothing too crazy, just getting them out there. Ugh. They're going to need another coat of black in the center, but that doesn't mean the outside rim can't be done. We're not going to be tufting up too much, just a little bit. Because why not? Let's put this down here. We don't need the keyboard. My goal is at least to get the graves done. Then we primed, while I was AFK, I also primed my girl. Even though she was already kind of primed, I wanted to re-prime her just to make sure that, like, if there's any little exposed metal bits that got chipped while she was knocking around in transport, those were good. So, and then I primed a screamer because I wanted to see how the beasts were going to be. Are you okay? Yeah. And this is just Black Legion contrast. Contrast is probably not the best paint to be using for this, but I don't have any normal Abaddon Black. So normally what I'd use, a couple thin coats of that. So I'm a fucking GW shell when it comes to paints. Mostly that's because it's all I know how to use. I should challenge myself one day and just be like, only use Vallejo paints. Oh, what the fuck was that? I guess there's a little bubble of paint that didn't dry yet. I gotta wait for that to dry. Okay. And then repaint over it. That's great. Alright. So now we need to find the magnets. There we go. Alright, then we're going to use some of the light green. Some of the winter. We'll use mountain and winter maybe. No, those are pretty samey. Let's use mountain and highland actually, not jungle. I love fucking Electro Swing. Ugh. I was able to get most of it off, but I painted myself. I mean, there's fucking paint all over my hands. Ugh. Watching it shit its pants like that just makes me worried. These mountain tufts have been like fucking stamped on. That's what happens when you move and shit gets crushed. And these will go in there. We're almost done with the gravestones, actually. Ugh. We're literally sitting here watching paint dry. Riveting content. How are you? Are you dry? Yeah, you're dry. Still got to print another another plate of these, which will be another 2. And then once that's done, I'm going to print another style of wall because it's going to be one of these per table and one of the other wall per table, I think. So two walls by default already on the table. And then if players defense out, well then that's their call. This orange normally covers pretty well, so something's up probably with this primer that I used. Oh. Incoming vibrator noises. Yes, I have a vortex mixer, and I love it, and you can see it in the camera. It's freaking the fuck out because the camera's mounted to the desk, and the desk is vibrating. I just have a really good special effects budget. Alright. We'll go through and then either white out or metal out the innards, and then yellow those, green the trim, white the base, then dirty it up with Sepia Superium. These aren't doing too bad. Although the print failed. Like this fucking thing is bananaed out hardcore, but it'll sit on the table and act like a wall. And that's all that matters. I need to get like a fine tip Sharpie and write out funny death sayings. Like funny tombstones. But that's for another time. I'm not fucking worth that right now. Because one, I don't have a fine tip Sharpie. And 2, I'd have to Google shit. And I don't want to do that right now. Considering this stream is butt chugging to get music and me at the same time going. We could do these while we wait. Going back to the Eshin Gray. I could make these like pillars marble colored, but I just don't care enough to. They probably should be, but who fucking cares? I think people will just be more stoked that shit's 3D instead of just um, the 2D neoprene. Which we will still be having some of that at Quest. Acid Lakes, Rough Terrain, which I mean these won't be on it. I might have Rough Terrain icons. We'll see. Because their Scatter Terrain is going to come in 2 flavors. This and Broken Pillars. And then of course the Open Graves. Because Open Graves are considered Scatter Terrain, which I'm cool with. Fucking Electro Swing is wild, man. Tap dancing with big band music. Watch This Song is the one that gets the whole thing fucking claimed. I'd laugh. I'd be like, okay. I mean, I'd still delete it, but I'm not gonna eat a fucking copyright strike for something like that. Fucking my channel though. You know what I should play? Tom Cardy. That thing was always weird to me. Don't forget your bags. Like, if I'm going on a trip and I'm walking out of the door without a bag, like, the fuck's wrong with me? This is a fucking bop though. We'll say that at least OBS streaming on YouTube was not hard. Like, this wasn't rough to do. This pot of lead belcher is almost dead, but I do already have a backup. We got a Discord beep. And you guys heard that because I can't control that. That's Jesper. What's up, dude? I'll look at that later. He sent me funny memes. And I realized I don't have chat up anymore. Let's fix that. There we go. If I could raid Twitch, I would. And I'd raid out to fucking Zero Camp. That dries, it will be so much better. Switch the smaller brush to redo this. For those not wondering what I'm doing, this pot's almost dead, so putting water in it will kind of help agitate whatever paint's left and get it so that you can kind of stretch it out a little bit more. Because what's left in there is kind of dried out. If you can't tell, I paint directly from the pot, which is apparently like sacrilege, but it's what I learned. And the medium layer brush is kind of like my go-to brush. I also have a small layer, and then I have a medium shade. And those are the three brushes that I pretty much live my life off of. Like I have others, but from GW, those are the three that I rock. The medium layer just seems like the perfect normal miniature work brush for me. It's my primary workhorse. And it does 90% of my heavy lifting when it comes to painting. Such a good fucking playlist. Sorry, I'm not, if there's anyone chatting, I'm concentrating. And there is not, which is fine. gonna stone that. After I finish this one, or these two, I'm gonna go check the 3D printer and see where it is. It's printing the final smokes and then the dust devils. The final effects that I call them. And then from there, it's just straight buildings and trees. Never thought that I would fucking be 3D printing trees. And that's solid resin too, because I'm a dumbass and don't know how to hollow shit. Mm. It's such an awkward shape, I keep dropping it. Actually, looks like the black's finally dried out. Enough for me to patch up the final white spots that I see. Uh, Once we're done with this, yeah, we go check the printer. I think the printer's still going though. I think I can hear it still kind of buzzing, kind of on the far in the background. Because I will be close to being done with one of my steps. Like when I finished printing all my graves, I was super stoked for that. So I just gotta prime them all. That's the sucky part. Is I only had one set primed. I still need to prime 3 more sets of graves. Though I think at 8 we'll probably kill it. Just because 2 hours of stream is good enough, like in my opinion. Painting for 2 hours straight. I mean, a little bit of show off from the new lot, but still. But most of this has been painting and chatting. We got a lot done. We got Ko's Cutthroats fully based. We got Eilish based. We got the Hermit based. We've got the Gravestones basically 100% done. I'm not. I don't know the rules. What the fuck is this song? I love electro swing. It's so weird. I want some paints. I want Stormhold Silver. I want this red. I want this bronze. I love Balthazar gold. It's one of my favorite fucking bronzes, and it's really good for like metal detail. Did you just say I have no interest in Kung Fu? The fuck is this song? This is still fucked. How did that get that bad? Are you that fucked? No, you look fine. Same with you. But your front? Yeah, your front's fine. Your top needs a little bit of brushwork. How about you? How's your top? Could use a little bit more. Let's, yeah, also do your top. Your front's fine. Okay. Oh, slowly working on the stuff. Let's do a little bit of metal on the top of this gear because it looks like it's not really taking it. The back looks horrible too. How did you get that bad? You normally cover pretty well, Lead Belcher. I think we're close to retiring that pot. Busting out the new one. Oh, I know what I could play after this. Me Mega Mix. That's if I need to. We're what, 5 minutes out till it's 8? We'll go to like 8:10, 8:20. I might have done this a little premature, and the Stormhost Silver is running now. But I don't care. It's okay. That's okay. Boop. I'll probably go till I'm actually done with these pieces, which they're close. We just need some dry brushing on the stone. Same here, which we can actually probably... No, we just hit those. So let's recap again, even though I showed him like 8 times already. This is our Hermit. He came out really good. This is Mr. Billie Eilish with his angry skull. I'm going to paint Billy too. This is Crow's Cutthroats. It came out really good. The base prints are Talaxi Factory like always. I love his stuff. It's World War II bases. Because the kind of storytelling that I want to go with these guys is that they're the blue tint on the bases is to denote that it's nighttime, and it's like they're raiding a village in the middle of the night, or at least that's what the headcanon is for right now. You know, not just them, the whole Infernal Army. That's what we're going to be going for. I don't know if I want to do grass tufts or not on them. Like, I might do small ones. Their feet, unfortunately, had to be glued to the bases, and this super glue is, of course, crusting. And there's the man himself. So we have Crow's Cutthroats done. We have 2 solos done. And I just primed up a Warcaster I'm probably going to do off stream. Just because I want to start working on her. And I'm so stoked to work on Zelatath. Like, I love her so much. So, yeah. We do Eshin Gray, and then now to contrast that darker color, we're going to use Longbeard Gray and just kind of do a very, which is a dry brush paint, but I'm going to use it as like an edge highlight. And then once it's edge highlighted, which you can't really tell, there you go. We're going to do a very light dry brushing over it just to kind of pick up the stone motif that's in the print. Not be afraid to like wipe some away. Even on along the top. The whole thing's going to be washed, and that'll kind of pull it all together. The fuck is this? Yeah, Electro Swing is a thing, man. It's like a fucking fever dream. You get total bops, and then you get fucking whatever this is. Hopefully this is okay. I don't understand what this man is saying. I heard Shrek. Donkey. Okay. This is my swamp. Sünden. I mean, it seems upbeat and happy. I hope. Häagen-Dazs? God. Watch it be something horrific and it's just said in an upbeat and happy fucking tone. Stupid English speakers listen to this song and don't realize they're pushing the message of whatever horrific things we want to do. Praise Cthulhu. Unibrow? I could fucking put on like Lemon Demon. That would be funny. I need to set up a playlist of that. Old school Lemon Demon. I don't think Neil would fucking strike me. We gotta do the gravestone. Why am I shaking dry brush paint? This shit does not need to be shaken. It's literally like a goop. We're just gonna edge highlight it here, I think. Just the stone. I don't think I'm gonna edge highlight the base. It's so tempting to get like the front thing across the front, but now we're good. Just gonna do the stones. Cool. 2 stones down, 1 to go. After this, I think these graves are good, and I can get them washed and get them sealed. So if I even need to wash them, I think I'm just gonna seal them. Yeah, I think I'm probably just seal them as is. Hit them with some Unitorum varnish. These are definitely getting washed, though. They're basically done. They just need to dry up and then get washed and then dry from that. So what did we do today? Terrain-wise, we did these. 3 open graves and 3 sets of rubble. That is 6 pieces of scattered terrain, which is good for a table. Not only did we finish the boys, we got some oranges, base coats down on the pumpkins. They're going to come out pretty good, I think. We've got so much more, and there's stuff that's been done too that I haven't shown off, like effects markers. This is for burning earth, so just burning earth. And then I've painted 2 of these already. Tall grass markers. Put these on like a 3D terrain thing and be like, bam, this is tall grass. And then clouds. Throw it on a cloud template, and then the poofy cloud thing, which is apothecary white mixed with Newland oil to give it that kind of like grayish texture. It looks okay. Still got to prime trees. Still got to prime monoliths. This is the other one. And then paint those. I don't know if I'm going to rune paint them. We'll see. Paint the runes. And then we have shit like this. This is one of the houses. This is at 70% scale. I think I'm going to reprint these at 80%, depending on resin volume. So this one might. The reason why I didn't paint that one is because it might not actually get painted because of the fact that like it might not get used. This one might, just because this is also at 70% scale, but putting this up to 80% scale was damn near impossible to fit it on the plate just because of the wonky shape of the house and the base. Like I would have to basically print it like this, like sideways, because these roof pieces are off. And then that could be done, but it would be done weird. I guess I could print it like this, but then it would be like 1 print, 2 to 3 prints. I'm gonna try. I want to see if I can. I want to see how big the 80% version of the house is compared to the 70%. See if the 10% really does make a big difference, because I've already got the 10% or the 80% file sliced for this in the printer ready to go. I just haven't started it yet, but we'll see. But on that, I think I'm gonna end it here. These are basically done. These just need to be washed. These are in the process of being done. We still got 2 more of those to go. Like, we definitely did chunk into this stuff, and we have until September, like early September. So we still have a whole month and some change before like all this is done. So I don't feel like I'm under the gun. I definitely feel like I have a lot of room to do this. If you're watching this after the fact, hey, every Wednesday minimum, I'm going to try to do this until we get there. I might have other extra upkeeps as we go along. But for everybody who stopped by, thank you. You're amazing. Also, a big shout out to Seth and the Bocor Brawl. Amazing convention. It's up on the northeast. They've already had it this year, but he wants people shouting it out for next year. I'm gonna try to go. Seth's amazing. He's been my rock, and if I can shout out his event, I will always shout out his event. So. It was fantastic chatting with those of you who came by, and if you throw anything in the comments, I will definitely, try to respond to those. But on that note, I'm gonna go. Y'all have a good one.